Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And it's been a few days since I rapped at you guys on the channel. On this channel, started a conversation, and what better reason to do so than a bunch of white supremacist bands getting removed off of Spotify? Apparently, this all started with the outlet Digital Music News, whose coverage we have talked about on the channel before. I just found 37 white supremacist hate bands on Spotify using a guide, a list that they had found on the Southern Poverty Law Center's website, where they listed out some of these bands, searched them up on Spotify, found that quite a few of them were there. I don't know how much traffic they were getting, probably not too much, but still, they were certainly there. People could listen to them, people could play them, and now they have been removed according to Spotify. Now that has been now that their existence on the platform has been pointed out. Of course, around this sort of thing, you're naturally going to have a conversation about free speech and is this unfair treatment? And personally, no, I don't think so. Free speech rights do not extend to private platforms such as Spotify. They don't. They don't extend to YouTube, Spotify, and a myriad of other private platforms on the internet, SoundCloud, what have you, can choose whether or not they want to have certain messages or certain artists on their platform, and that's that. And that's, me. Not only is that sort of the rule of law, but that's also my personal belief too, because I don't think it's really the government's job to decide whether or not a private company such as Spotify decides to have a white supremacist band on them. That's actually kind of like agreeing with the market there, agreeing with sort of the sort of capital. That's actually kind of a capitalist decision here, to decide, hey, they should be able to put what they do and don't want on their platform at all because they're a private company. That's their decision at the end of the day. They're worried about their bottom line. So, I personally agree with them on that front. As far as free speech rights go, true, these racists do harbor a lot of hatred, but they still have the same free speech rights that you do at the end of the day. They're entitled to their shitty opinions, but nobody has to host them. Nobody has to give them a platform, especially, well, not especially, I meant to say specifically, private companies, private platforms do not have to host these people. They don't have to give them a place to put up their shitty Nazi music or really anybody for that matter, because maybe down the road, because offense on the internet is a bit of a digital currency right now. Maybe artists who talk about, really violent things or rape or have sexist messages, could be finding themselves under similar fire. But right now we're talking about white supremacists. And I feel like right now you're sort of seeing this backlash online and, of course, in public against people like this because they're acting a bit bolder. They're really kind of getting out, in front of the cameras. They're really kind of boldly stepping out, protesting more, voicing their opinions more. And because there was a moment where they sort of lain dormant for quite a while, the general public has to kind of convene once again and remind them, nope, it's not that we forgot about you. It's not that we don't think you suck anymore. It's just that we didn't think you were really all that relevant, but now we're here to remind you you're shit. We're here to remind you you're dumb. We're here to remind you that you have really shitty, uneducated, ignorant opinions and views of the world. And unfortunately, that's just something that we're moving through again right now. And I have no doubt that, all of this shit will sort of be scrubbed from, certain platforms and certain internet sites like Spotify in due time. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to put up with it. And at the end of the day, any company that is hosting this kind of material and these kinds of points of view, it's going to look really bad on them. It's really going to, put a fucking wrench in their works. It's the internet. If you really want to put those ideas out there, start your own platform, start your own site. It doesn't need to be on Spotify. Spotify doesn't owe you a platform. YouTube doesn't owe you a platform. Twitter doesn't owe you a platform. I'm sorry, but it's true. You might feel like it's unfair, but I don't know, your whole ideology is based on unfairness, and also given that you are on the right sort of technically, as far as the political spectrum, you should understand better than anybody that these capitalist companies are going to give you the boot because you're not doing their bottom line any favors. You're a shithead. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. Over here next to my head is another video that you should check out on the channel, or click on the link to subscribe. And yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think that Spotify made the right move here? Do you think they're treating these bands unfairly? Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, hopefully a really healthy and a heated discussion will sprout out of this. I'm sure that'll be the case. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.